Hello and welcome. I wanted to make sure you have access to the recording for our session. I had an issue with the recording, so I am recording this so that you have all the information from the session today in case you want to rewatch or you were not able to join us. So just wanted to welcome you here for the 2025 Job Search Strategy Masterclass. What we are talking about today is how to finally get noticed and land interviews in today's market. We're going to be talking about some of the things that may be challenges that you're facing with your job search right now, and things that aren't working as well as what is working in the job search right now, and what you can do to see some better progress with your job search. So let's jump right in. I want to talk about some of the common problems that I'm seeing, some of the things that I'm hearing from people that are coming to me. This one here, number one, is a very common one that I hear, and that's that people will say, I am applying to all these jobs, but I'm not hearing anything back. It just feels like I'm sending applications out into a void and not hearing anything back, not getting any response, other than, sometimes a few of those auto rejection emails. So this is something I see commonly people are struggling with. Another one is they're getting some interviews, but then not getting moved ahead. So either they're not getting chosen, someone else is getting chosen, or they're not even sometimes hearing back after the interviews that they've had. So that's another common challenge that I do see right now. And a third one is people saying, I'm just not even sure what I'm doing wrong. They're not getting any feedback, so they really don't know what is it that I'm doing wrong. What should I be changing? They don't really know because they're not getting any information back. And then number four is feeling like I'm spinning my wheels, that I'm getting nowhere. That's another one that is very common right now too. So if you're dealing with any of these, definitely know you're not alone. These are some common challenges that people are facing, and we're going to talk today about how to deal with some of this, what you can do in terms of being able to move out of that cycle and see something different. So really quickly, just to give you a little bit of background on me, I have been a certified career coach for a little over 9 years now. It's getting close to 10 years that I've been doing this. And in that time, I've helped hundreds of professionals across just about every industry, worked with a lot of people from a lot of large organizations that would be familiar to you, and both helping people get hired on at some of those organizations, as well as some of them move on from some of those organizations when they're ready to as well. So certainly I've worked with a lot of different people, and making sure that career transformation that they're working on is a successful one. I do tend to specialize in working with mid to senior level directors, executives. That tends to be a lot of my clientele. And really, I'm helping them make sure to learn how to expertly position themselves for that next move. So a lot of times people will get to a point where they're ready for that next step in their career. They have a lot of experience, but they're just ready for that next stage. And I help them make sure that next career step is able to happen successfully, that they can make that a good transformation. So that's just a little bit of background about me. Wanted to make sure that you knew a little bit about what I do and who I help, and as we kind of move into some of this information here. Now, my specialty certainly is helping professionals to position themselves for that career growth. There is definitely a fair amount of strategy involved in being able to do that, and helping them land those more fulfilling, a lot of times higher paying roles, make sure that they're able to position themselves for that, and help them go beyond those AI generated updates and generic keywords that they might be relying on in terms of their resumes and such, and things like that they may have been told to do or may feel like they're having to rely upon, helping them go beyond that to the bigger strategy that's involved. Now let's talk a little bit about why the traditional job search might be failing you. So there is definitely the case right now that outdated rules are holding a lot of people back. And, this really is something that is affecting a lot of people. What I have seen, because I mentioned I've done this work for almost 10 years, and everything has changed pretty quickly in the last couple of years. And I would say it's changed so much, not even in the last 5 years, but even in the last 1 to 2 years, we've seen so many changes in terms of the technology, in terms of what's happening in the job market, in terms of what's working, what's not. It's changing quickly, and so it's not surprising that people are feeling like what they're doing is not working, or the results they're seeing are not as good as they could be. So we're going to talk about what that means and what you can do. So the big mistakes that I see a lot of professionals make, number one is relying only on those online job applications, the online job boards. And certainly this is a great resource to be looking at, to be utilizing, but it shouldn't be our only method for getting you out there, getting you noticed. That is something that there's definitely other options, other things we should be doing. So we don't want to be just only relying on those, and we'll talk a little bit more about why too. The second is waiting for jobs to be posted. So waiting until you are seeing things that are posted online. Again, this can be quite limiting, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you might be missing out on by just doing that. And then number three, believing it's just about the resume. So the resume certainly is critical, but there are a lot of other pieces that we need to be considering as well. A lot of things that go beyond just the resume when it comes to your success with the job search. So the reality is that a lot of AI is filtering. We've got resume scanning software. Things are being filtered. The resumes are being scanned through a lot of systems. So sometimes people are finding that this process is weeding them out. And so their resume may not even be getting in front of anybody, might not be getting in front of someone's eyes. You're getting weeded out right from the get-go. That is definitely something that a lot of people are seeing that is happening in a lot of cases. Also, number two, jobs are getting filled before they're even posted. This is also the reality, and something that is happening is that we do have positions that maybe are not even being shared and being created for people, or cases where internal candidates might be filling these roles. Positions are getting, people are getting slotted into those positions without them even being posted. Number three, referrals and networking rule. This is absolutely true that your network, your connections are very critical, and those are pieces that really we need to learn to lean into in order to have everything working for us here. You must also be able to brand and position yourself effectively. This is something I work pretty extensively with my clients on, to make sure that they know how to do this and make sure that they're able to do this effectively so that they can get moved forward in the process and get moved through to that position that they're looking for. So we're going to talk just a little bit about the hidden job market. It is true that there are many roles that are being filled through networks and then on job boards. And Zippia, which is a career resource site, they reported recently that about 85% of all jobs are filled through networking, such as referrals and personal connections, and that about 70% of people got their current job this way. So you can see there's this huge number of opportunities out there, these positions that are happening without even being on the job board. So that's why when we talk about the fact that you don't want that to be your only source, the only thing that you rely on, this is why, because there are these other opportunities that you would be missing out on if you were just relying on that. And we're going to look at and talk about how do you actually tap into that? How do you go about that? So what is working right now in 2025? First and foremost, leveraging relationships. This is very important. This is definitely key here, is being able to lean into your network, be able to leverage those relationships, and be able to do that effectively. So this is something that sometimes people will ask me, who do I reach out to? What do I say? And that's all part of some of the pieces that I teach when I work with clients, is making sure they know how to go about this effectively so that you know what to do and what to say, because this is a really important part of the process with the job search, especially right now. We also need to be able to increase your visibility. If you are not seen, if people don't know you're out there, then you're not being approached, you're not being entertained for some of those opportunities. So this is also very important too. And then being able to position yourself strategically. This goes back to the branding and marketing, making sure that people are able to see why you are a great fit for a role. Make sure they see that you are the one that would be the most ideal candidate. We need to be able to position you for those type of positions that you're targeting. So it's really not about more effort. It's about a smarter strategy, because we don't want to be scattered and reacting. We want to be strategic and in control of the job search. And that's definitely something that I help people with in terms of the strategy that we lean into. So some key shifts that you want to make. Number one is getting clear on your target. And what I mean by this is being able to be really specific about the position and the title of the type of role that you're targeting. And you would be surprised how many people, I'm still surprised how many people come to me and they are not clear on this. They're not quite sure what position or what type of role that they want to be in. And this really is the first thing that has to be squared away, that you have to work on, is making sure that you do know. And there's definitely, things that I do when I'm working with clients to help them get clear on this piece, but you need to be clear on this part before you can even move forward. Because if you aren't clear, then no one else is going to be clear about what it is that you would be a great fit for. So you need to be able to identify that so that we can clearly articulate that and make sure that you come across as the most ideal candidate for a position. And along with this is being able to clearly talk about the type of organization that you would want to be a part of. So the size of the organization, the type of industry, or even specific companies by name where you might want to be working, the ones that you might want to be a part of. So all of that is going to be really important to define before you even move into doing anything else. This is going to be a very important first step. And then number two is aligning your messaging and your materials. You need to be able to speak to what they want, what the employer wants. And this is about being able to show what you can deliver and what your unique value proposition is. They need to see what you can do for them. They need to see what sets you apart from other candidates, what makes you unique, and really why they should care. So everything needs to be written and the communication needs to be in line with what they are looking for and what they want you to be able to do. So this is actually a piece where I see that a lot of people need some help and support on. Most people do need help with this, because being able to clearly define our accomplishments, our achievements, can be really difficult for most people. A lot of us are not used to talking about ourselves. We're not used to talking ourselves up. And so it can be difficult to do that and to really make sure that your accomplishments and achievements come across strongly enough and that people can see what you've been able to do, what you've been able to deliver. So this takes a little bit of time to make sure to clearly define this, but it's very important to do. And then number three is building meaningful connections. So you want to ask yourself, have I kept in touch with my network? And this can be something where people will wonder, well, what do I even say? And who do I reach out to? And that is all part of knowing how to network effectively. And really, the first step is having that network. And a lot of times people will tell me, oh, I don't have very many connections, or I don't have the right connections. And the truth is, all of us know more people than we give ourselves credit for. We know quite a few people, and really you need to be thinking about that network. You need to be working on building your network, and you also need to be reaching out and keeping in touch with them. And this doesn't mean reaching out and asking people, someone for a job or asking them to do anything. Sometimes, there can be a time and a place for that, but really it's also about just keeping in touch. And this can look like reaching out to people, and maybe there are resources or there are things that you come across that you think would be helpful to a connection that you have that you want to share with them, checking in with them, inviting them to other networking opportunities or things that you're a part of. So there's a lot of different ways to keep in touch with your network. But when we look at the strategy in terms of the job search, it is definitely important not only to be doing that, but then to start thinking about who should I be reaching out to and what should I say if I'm wanting to move my job search forward. And that's another piece that I certainly help with, but it's an important piece to be doing if you want your job search to be successful right now too. And really with the job search, when you fall into this trap where you are not able to do the job search effectively, it can definitely feel like you're kind of stuck in this wheel. You're really stuck grinding. You can spend months or even years in a lot of cases just spinning your wheels. It can feel like there's a lot of time wasted. And I know that this is really draining for people. It can also erode their confidence. I definitely see people when they come to me, a lot of them have spent a long time in that endless job application cycle, and they are feeling really like their energy's drained. They're feeling like their confidence is eroded. So this is something that can certainly be a factor and can be very draining if you get stuck in this endless cycle. So in order to break out of that application cycle, that's why you want to have a very targeted outreach. When we talk about, being clear about your target, being clear about your goals so that you really can target the right people and take the right steps. You need to be able to network effectively. So all of those pieces that we talked about go into being able to do that. And you need to be able to have aligned positioning, to be able to position yourself and brand yourself for that type of role that you are wanting, that type of role that you're targeting. So all of these pieces are really important in order to be able to break out of that endless cycle. And the result is having opportunities come to you rather than the other way around. That's certainly something that is possible. And that's something that we're able to work ourselves in that direction towards that type of result. So I want to share with you just a few examples of clients that I've worked with recently. So this is Kat, and she was in that endless job application cycle. She was somebody that when she came to me, she had spent a year sending these applications out into the void. She was not getting responses. Her confidence was starting to slip. She said, I'm not hearing back. It's disappointing. It's frustrating, and it's affecting my confidence. So we started working together, and right away, within a couple of weeks, she was having interviews getting lined up. She ended up, after that, landing an offer. She really felt like it rebuilt her confidence. She said that I helped her build her confidence as an applicant and understand her value as an employee. So this was really great to see. And this is a really fun one because just about probably a month later, she was able to come back to me and share with me that she had some potential promotion opportunities out there that had come her way already. So not only into a new role, but then having new opportunities coming to her already too. So that was great to see. So the behind the scenes of what works, it's about positioning that really makes you stand out. It's about having systems for creating traction in your job search. and having that support and accountability. So having somebody that can make sure that you're on the right track, that you're using the right techniques and keeping you accountable and supported as you move forward through the process too. Now, this is Michael. So Michael was getting some interviews, but he was getting these constant rejections. So he was never the one that was chosen when he completed these interviews. We had to really dig in and revamp his interview strategy. He ended up then getting 8 interviews in 4 weeks and then a job offer. And what he said about the process was sometimes it's not about getting in the door, it's about knowing exactly what to say once you're there. So that definitely was true here, and being able to help him really just revamp this whole strategy was very important so that he could actually be the one to be chosen for these roles that he was interviewing for rather than constantly being the one that wasn't selected. Now, this is Kayla. So she had done so many interviews. She had been on about 15 plus interviews, but was not getting any offers. So what she said was the interview process was like a math equation that I didn't have the formula to solve. So that was how she was feeling about the process. And then fast forward, she said within 2 months of working together, I landed the perfect job. It was the support I needed to level up and regain my confidence. So this is another one where it was so great to see. And I got an update from her last month, and she was telling me that this job she landed was just really the perfect job for her. And she was so happy that she was finally able to move on and move into this new role that was a really great fit for her that she was able to get started in. So the bottom line is you really can stand out even if you haven't job searched in years. I do definitely have people that come to me that it's been a while since they've had to be out job searching. Things have changed a lot, and so that's another case where the support is really meaningful and making sure that they're able to stand out and able to get moved forward. So that's one of the reasons why I have created some of the programs that I have. So with the personalized coaching that I offer, I have programs to help people make sure they are able to move forward, make sure they're able to get through that noise and get out of that endless job application cycle. And it's really about crafting messaging that positions you for those premium high impact roles. We want to make sure that you're able to start seeing results faster. Some people, within weeks or within, the month, they're starting to see these results and starting to land offers. It's definitely possible. This is happening for people that I've been working with recently. And it's just really amazing to see what they've been able to accomplish, what they've been able to do. So this is Shannon. She said she had tripled the number of recruiter inquiries on her LinkedIn profile after we worked together. She then successfully landed a new role with a 12% increase in pay. And she said working with me was a great learning experience, a great growth experience. It really helped her just level up and get moved on and moved into that next role and have those opportunities that were made available to her. Now, this is Lisa. So this one was really exciting. She actually received 5 job offers. So she said that she was so excited to be able to start into this new position. She couldn't wait to get going. She'd been ready for some time, and now she had this opportunity where she had multiple offers to consider. She was able to select one and was super excited to get moved into this next position. So that was so fun to see. Now, what they all had in common was number one, investing in their career growth, that they took steps to work on this. The majority of them did the premium coaching package. So it's a one-on-one coaching package. And it's actually been my most popular program by far this year. And I think that's for a couple reasons. One is the fact that it is one-on-one support where I am helping you to customize everything, make sure that everything is customized to your experience, to your background, and also to the type of roles that you're actually targeting, the type of roles that you want, making sure everything is targeted for that. And then number two, just the fact that, it is a tricky job market right out there right now. And so most people are finding it takes more than just an updated resume. They're needing a little bit more support and guidance and help in order to get moved through the process so that they're not getting stuck in that endless application cycle. So this definitely has been my most popular program lately, and helping people be able to have those type of good results in their job search. So with that one-on-one, that premium coaching that I was just talking about, these are some of the things that we focus on. We definitely focus on the branding and the marketing strategy, because as we've been talking about, you need to be able to do that effectively so that you can stand out, so that you can beat out other candidates in the market. You also need to be able to communicate and network effectively. We've also looked at this, that, we've seen that that is so important to be able to do that well. And the interview coaching, you don't want to finally get this opportunity to have these interviews and then not be the one to get moved forward. It's very important to make sure the interview strategy is on point too, as well as offer negotiation strategy. That's another key piece. And we do this all through one-on-one coaching. So doing one-on-one coaching calls where I'm working with people individually, and we're working on all of this. And I really, customize everything, like I mentioned, to the type of role that they're targeting, to the type of experience they have, so that we have customized, personalized action steps to help you move forward. That's really key here, is making sure we're able to do that and hone in on what do you need to do in terms of your search to be successful. So with the program, the one that I mentioned, it's a 6-week program. There is weekly, monthly coaching. With that one-on-one program, we are actually meeting weekly. We're having weekly one-on-one sessions where we're going over all the material, and I am building and providing these pieces that you need in order to have that successful job search. And so you've got that expert guidance, you've got that expert support in order to have all of this done well and done right. So just taking a look at what's inside, you're going to learn exactly how to position yourself as that must-have candidate. That's very important. We're going to develop your unique value proposition for your expertise, and then create tailored strategy for your networking, for your outreach, so that you can also deliver an outstanding interview that's going to beat out the competition. That needs to happen as well. So we work on and look at all of these pieces in there. So it's a transformation. It's really taking you from feeling overlooked to being that obvious choice. It's going to take you from chasing to being the one pursued in a lot of cases. So one thing that I mention to people, one thing that I remind them of, is really every week that you wait is another week that's lost in that application cycle. And for a lot of people that I work with, especially, the senior and executive level clients that I'm working with that are targeting these 6-figure roles, really 1 month of waiting can have a lot of impact in terms of the income that can be lost, because not only if they're not working, then that's income that's not coming in, but also if they haven't stepped into that promotion yet, then that's additional income that they could be making that could be lost during that time too. So waiting is definitely something that can have an impact in terms of the dollars that could be lost in that application cycle. Now, in terms of the investment, so typical career coaching programs can easily be as much as $3,500 to $5,000 and up. Executive coaching can be as much as $2,500 per hour for C-suite level clients. These are certainly typical numbers that you see out there in the industry. For the program that I do, it's really important to me to make it accessible. I know there's a lot of people that need the help, need the support. I want to make sure it's accessible to people. So mine is actually priced at $14.95 for the package that we've been talking about, the one-on-one coaching package. And it does include all of these different components we were talking about, the branding and marketing, communication, networking, etc. These are all pieces that are built into that. And so that's all part of that package that is available. And that's the package that we were mentioning that's helping individuals see these results where they are getting moved forward, they are getting those offers and getting those interviews so they have those opportunities. So I do take a limited number of people because I do all of the coaching myself. So I'm not pushing anybody over to an assistant or having them work with somebody else. I work with people one-on-one. I customize everything. So I do take a limited number of clients that I work with. So for example, right now I have 5 spots open for next month. So those will be filling up here, within the next week. I'll be starting to fill those spots for the month. And because I have that limited number that I work with, since it's a one-on-one option. But this program is really perfect for especially those, busy directors, executives, if you're in a position where you are busy, you don't have the time to be working on all of these individual pieces yourself. You're wanting somebody that can support you with creating these customized documents, creating these pieces. It really is a done for you service. So you have all these pieces done to help you stand out and position you as that ideal candidate. And you've got that one-to-one support that you would want through the process too. So with this, I have a website you can go to get more information. You can sign up. You can also get more details. It's www.coachjillv.com. If you go there, you're able to see the details on the program. You're also able to book a call with me if you have more questions or you want to talk to me about what program might be best for you or what is best in your situation, or you just have individual questions about the program itself, you can do that as well. So if you go to this website, you're going to see all those program details, and then down at the bottom, you will also see an option to be able to book a call with me. So if you do have more questions or you want to talk about which program might be best for you, because I do have some, different options, and sometimes there's something that might be a great fit in terms of what you're looking for, or sometimes you just want to ask a little more about the details. So you can definitely book a call with me. Again, that's down at the bottom of that page. If you go there, you're able to book that call and set that up. And that's a free career consult call. It's a free 20-minute call. And I'd be happy to connect with you, learn a little bit more about your situation, and answer those questions for you. So definitely drop in and book one of those if you have those questions. And lastly, I just want to leave you with this quote that the opportunities you want are out there. I definitely believe this, and I definitely see this in terms of the clients that I'm working with, the people that I meet. I'm very lucky and grateful to get to work with so many amazing clients, and it's just so amazing to see the results that they're able to achieve and the opportunities that they're able to move into. Even in what we might consider a difficult job market, there are great results that are happening. And so this is something that is an opportunity for you. And if you are thinking that you want to learn more, that you might be interested, definitely reach out to me. You can book that call. You can also reach out with questions. You can reply to any of my emails, and you can ask questions if you want to reach out and ask a little more or learn a little bit more about the different options that are out there. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found this helpful and informative, and I definitely hope to have a chance to see you and work with you and hear from you if you have any questions at all that I can answer. Thanks so much.